CPC designation is proof that truth is no longer hidden. The persecution of Christians, the massacre of Biafrans, the injustice of Nnamdi Kanu, continued detention, all are visible to the international eyes. Why wouldn't you be focused? Did you hear me well? The CPC designation is a proof that the truth is no longer hidden. The persecution of Christians, the massacre of Biafrans, the injustice of Nnamdi Kanu, continued detention, all are visible to the international eyes. Very, very visible, and you can't hide it anymore. It is time for we, the Biafrans, to capitalize on the moment. It is high time for us to have a strategy and capitalize on the moment. The Biafran people, we must strategize. We must put up a strategy. And here is my suggestion. This is the hour of action, not confusion. We are in the hour of action, not confusion. These are few things I feel and I believe that Biafrans must do. You and I, every one of us, these are the few things I believe that we must do. We must stay united. Internal dispute only strengthens the oppressor. We must stay united. Internal dispute only strengthens the oppressor. Amplify the CPC narratives. In all your platform, no matter how big or how small your platform is, amplify the CPC narrative. Spread the truth that Nigeria has been recognized internationally as a violator of human rights. That international recognition of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, it shows that Nigeria is a violator of human rights. Amplify it. Amplify it in any way you find yourself, in any angle, in any corner. Amplify it. Reinforce discipline. Engage international media and right groups. Write, post, tag, and connect the dots for the world to see, just as we have been doing this platform. Try as much as possible connect the dot between the genocide of the Christians and the Biafran people. Connect them together. Let the world see how the two are related. In Nigeria, when you talk about Christians, you are talking about the Biafran people. Biafran people are almost 99% Christians. We have some Jewish among us. Even the Jewish among us, those Jewish among us, Jewish religion we have among us, they were Christians. They are also Christians. They were Christians even before they went into the Jewish religion. Judeo-Christian. As MAZI NNAMDI KANU wrote on the letter he wrote to Donald Trump, they are Judeo-Christian, generally. So you can see, when we have 99% Christians, and the data that is Nigeria is presenting is that in every state you go to in Nigeria, after the indigenous people, the highest population you get there is the Biafran people. In all the states in Nigeria, any state you go into Nigeria, after the indigenous people, the next population is Biafran. And there is no state in Nigeria where you will not see the high population of the Biafran people. So when you hear attack of Christians, in every state where there is a major attack of Christians, there must be a Biafran involved in it. There must be a life of a Biafran. The genocide against Christians started with the Biafran people, in case you do not know. The genocide against Christians started with Biafran people from the year 2000. The massacre of Christians in the north. When you hear about, before the appearance of Boko Haram and co, this massacre had been going on in the north. Whenever something happens across the world, they attack the Christians in the north, who are majority Biafrans. They attack them. So what you are seeing today in the case of Boko Haram didn't start today. It started all the way from genocide against the Biafran people living in the northern part of Nigeria. There are many evidences, many eyewitness accounts, which I have placed some of their videos. These two things relate together. And our duty today is to continue to connect dots, connect the dot for the world, to understand that in Nigeria, we have a country where you put people that have the same value system. We do not have the same value system. And countries are built among people that have similar value system. The value system of the northern part of Nigeria and the south has nothing close. There is nothing close to it. The value system of people in the north and those in Biafra land, there is nothing in common. We don't have anything in common with them. Not in language, not in religion, not in way of life. These are people that tells you that education is a taboo. They don't want it, Western education. They don't want it. In 21st century, somebody is telling you that he doesn't want Western education. How can you live with such kind of an individual? How? Explain to me. In 21st century. In 21st century, somebody will come to the National Assembly and tell you that the life of a cow matters more than the life of a human being. And it will become a debate in the House Assembly that the life of a cow is much, much valued than the life of a human being. How do you, tell me, how can you be able to survive with people that have such mentality? And they are very proud to protect it and talk about it. They are always very proud to say it. Unapologetically, they say it and they defend it all the time. We must engage international media and rights groups. Write, post, tag, and connect the dot for the world to see. Reinforce discipline. The world respect movements that are strategic, not chaotic. Did you hear me? The world, the international bodies, they respect movements that are strategic, not chaotic. MAZI NNAMDI KANU was very, very strategic and timely. MAZI Simon Ekpa was very, very strategic. Every one of us should begin to ask ourselves a question. What are we doing? What are we doing? We must reinforce discipline. The world respects movements that are strategic, not chaotic. And we must continue to keep our demands clear. Always keep the demand clear. Our demand is free MAZI NNAMDI Kanu unconditionally. The politicians can continue to speak on their own time and do on their own tone. For those of us who are freedom fighters, those of us who are Biafran agitators, those of us who are asking for self-determination, men of conscience across the world, those who care about humanity, that are genuinely seeking for a stable society for humanity, we must continue to demand. Keep our demand very, very clear. Don't mix it up. Keep our demand very clear. Free MAZI NNAMDI KANU unconditionally. That is our demand. Unconditional release. We must keep it clear. Secondly, conduct Biafra referendum. We have done our own self-referendum. You feel it's not acceptable? Conduct yours. If you don't have the resources to conduct, adopt our referendum. You were notified about a referendum. Notice was sent to you. You have heard about the result. We must continue to keep this demand very clear. Free MAZI NNAMDI KANU unconditionally. Conduct Biafra referendum if you are not satisfied with us. Thirdly, end religious and ethnic persecution. End religious and ethnic persecution. We should keep our demand clear, very, very clear. These three major demands, keep it clear. Free MAZI NNAMDI KANU unconditionally. Conduct Biafra referendum. End religious and ethnic persecution. That is our demand. In a clear terms. Don't mix it up. We must always maintain it clear. Spell it out for them to hear. The CPC tag must not just be a headline. It must become a weapon of liberation for those of us who are Biafrans. Don't just take the CPC tag as a headline. Use it as a headline on your speech, a headline on your content, a headline. No, no, no. It must be a weapon of liberation for us. A weapon of liberation for every one of us that are genuinely seeking for Biafra. That is what it's supposed to be. But today, find out what are people who say they are fighting for Biafra doing. So many of us are confused and distracted. So many of us are confused and distracted. We must keep our message straight to the international community. We must keep our message straight to the international community. To the international community, we say this. Nigeria's inclusion under CPC is not just a policy maker. No, it's not just a policy maker. It is an indictment of a system that has turned a blind eye to mass murder, abduction, and persecution for decades. This is a direct message to the international community because we know they are watching. That is why when you join us, don't just be there. Share the program, tag and share. I know they are fighting our platform. I know very well. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me. I know that they are fighting this platform. I get the signals. They are fighting the platform to bring it down, to make sure that people don't hear our voice, but we must speak. I have made my vow that as long as I wake up every day, open my platform and I stay on, I am going to speak. As long as I have life, I will speak. You yourself have to play your own part. Join us on this radical evangelism. When you join this program, make sure you share it to at least one person. Give it a thumbs up to invite others to join. Don't just be there alone. When you are just watching and enjoying the program alone, you're not doing us any good. You're not doing yourself any good either. We must get people involved. We must get people involved. That is why each time you come on, share it, let the world hear us. So this message is to the international communities. Nigeria inclusion under CPC is not just a policy maker. It is an indictment of a system that has turned a blind eye to mass murder, abduction, and persecution for decades. If you mean what you say about human rights, then you must act. Not just labeling. If the international community means what they say about human rights, then they must act. not just labeling. You don't just label and go to bed. You must act. The United States must act. They must act. The Biafran people are victims of same persecution you now acknowledge. The same persecution you are now, this genocide you are acknowledging, Biafrans are victims of it every day. Even as we speak, the genocide is still going on in Biafran land. Sponsored by the federal government, using the state governors and the security outfit they created, they continue to commit genocide in Biafra land. Even as we speak, it is still ongoing. So as you are making your investigation, flash your light to Biafra land, go and see things for yourself. Mass grave everywhere in Biafra land. Now that you are ready to investigate, please go to Biafra land and investigate. Just like our Supreme MAZI NNAMDI KANU wrote in his letter to Donald Trump. Let that investigation extend to Biafra land. Go and see the atrocity the Nigerian government is sponsoring in Biafra land. The mass killing of the innocent ones, children, mothers, abduction, disappearance, imprisonment unnecessary for no just cause. Go down and investigate. The Biafran people are victims of the same persecution you now acknowledge. We, the Biafran people, demand accountability. We demand justice. We demand recognition of our right to self-determination. MAZI NNAMDI KANU request was for self-determination, and he was tagged a terrorist. MAZI Simon Ekpa was fighting for self-determination, and he was tagged terrorist. In a world where we say that human rights is respected, why would the same people who made a law, the same people that made a law and told us that self-determination is a right, not a privilege, it's a right, and yet they will still come back and arrest us for going for our right? MAZI NNAMDI KANU has been in detention now 5 years and still counting. MAZI Simon Ekpa, 1 year and still going. All because of their rights supported by international law, a right supported by African peoples and human rights law, a right supported by Nigerian law itself. But you see, because we are dealing with a lawless country, they are dragging every other country to become lawless like them, just like they took Finland. They have succeeded in dragging Finland in their lawlessness. And today, Finland is dining and whining with a terrorist country, sharing information together. And the world is silent. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, I have a message for you. My brothers and my sisters who are watching, wherever you are watching from, we are at a crossroad. We are at a crossroad. The CBC designation can either be the spark that ignites our freedom or the distraction that divides us. The CPC designation can either be the spark that ignites our freedom or the distraction that divides us. The choice is ours. Choose for yourself what you want. The spark or the distraction. Which one are you going to choose? Look at yourself and ask yourself genuinely, what are you doing? Is the CPC designation a spark that ignites our freedom to you or a distraction that divides us? Give me an answer. Write on the comment section. What do you think? The choice is ours. The choice is ours. Every Biafran, whether in the homeland or in the diaspora, must stay focused, stay united, and stay alert. Stay alert. Our ancestors died for this cause. Our leader in detention for this cause. Our leaders, MAZI NNAMDI Kanu, and our Prime Minister, MAZI Simon Ekpa Njoko, are in detention for this cause. Will we now fall to eternal destruction? Will we now fall to eternal destruction? I don't think so. No. We will rise. We will focus. We will speak with one voice, and the world will hear us. Biafra will live. I saw a very touching message that was put in place by Arnold on his Twitter handle, and I'm going to read that message. That message that Arnold wrote should be a wake-up call for us, for some of us who are not paying attention. It has to be a wake-up call. I am speaking to Biafrans because I am a Biafran. That is why I'm concerned about the Biafran people. In as much as the move that the United States is making is going to favor every ethnic group, everybody that cares about humanity, that wants freedom, whether you are Arewa, whether you are Middle Belt, whether you are Yoruba or the Biafrans, every single one of us will benefit from it. But unfortunately, there are some people, just as I said, who are being paid people who are being paid to push an agenda against themselves, and they are doing it very well. When I saw the tweet of Arnold, a very touching tweet that should be a wake-up call, I went to the comment section, and you see the kind of comments some people who claim to be Nigerians are. The kind of comments they were writing. And these are sponsored criminals by the government. And I'm going to read that tweet because that tweet speaks volume. From Mike Arnold. Every one of you know Mike Arnold. Mike Arnold, the man that the one they call Reno Mokri, went to bribe for his fact-finding mission. And eventually, when the facts came out, the man came and did his fact-finding and brought out the fact. And they began to fight him. You went and brought somebody for fact-finding. Then after the person have come, done his finding and brought out the fact, you became angry. Before you go to somebody to come and engage in fact-finding, you must have had a trust on that very person. You must have known that the person have credibility. That was why you call the person to come and make the fact-finding. And simply because the person refused to lie, to play ball into your hand, you now turn against him and it becomes a different ball game. You begin to blackmail, castigate, and call him names. I thank Chukwu Okikab. If it were the Biafran people that invited Mike Arnold to go and make that fact finding, they will say, oh, they paid him. They will say we bribed him. If it were to be a Biafran that went for that mission, if it were to be a Biafran person, an Igbo person to be precise, if it were to be an Igbo person that went for that mission, they will say he bribed the man. But this was a government of Nigeria who went and contacted Mike Arnold for a fact finding. And after his findings, they gave him a platform to speak on a press interview. And he told them to their face. First of all, he warned the media, because we all know how corrupt the media is, and he warned the media. Please report what I have to say. Whatever I say, report it just exactly the way I say it. He won them. And he started giving his facts. And after pushing his fact, every other thing the table was turned. He confirmed that what was happening in Nigeria is genocide, nothing but genocide. And the government got mad. So I am telling you about Mark Arnold, that is somebody who you cannot bribe. For him to be able to stand against the bribery of Nigeria, it takes the grace of Chukwu Okike. It takes the grace of Chukwu Okike for you to say no to the bribery of Nigeria. Nigeria can bribe the entire country. Nigeria can bribe an entire country when it comes to bribery. Britain taught them very well. When it comes to corruption, Britain taught Nigeria very well to be fantastically corrupt. That is why their president called Nigeria fantastically corrupt country. They were the one that taught Nigeria to be fantastic in corruption. So for Mike Arnold to be able to say no to the corruption and bribery of Nigeria, he's a man of integrity. That is why anything he says, don't take it for a joke. Whatever Arnold said, you must take it serious. And that is why I am bringing this tweet of Arnold's, and I'm going to read it for you. I want every one of us to pay attention. Don't get distracted. Don't get emotional. Just pay attention to the information and make use of it. Remove emotions. Remove emotions. Just keep your emotions aside. Listen carefully and make use of the information. I'm going to read it out. The tweet was made by Arnold. It says, I'm in full agreement with you. I'm fighting for that here. This is as a result of, I think it's a response to what somebody said. A question, I believe it's a Biafra that posed that question to him, and he was responding. He said, I'm in full agreement with you. I am fighting for that here, now in the USA. The Nigerian government has hired $PR. Nigerian government has hired high dollar PR. High dollar PR. Nigerian government, listen, that Arnold is telling you that Nigerian government has hired high dollar PR and lobby firm to lie and spin and deny and confuse. I want you to understand what we are facing. Some of you don't understand what we are facing. Arnold is responding to somebody. He said, I am full in agreement with you. I am fighting for that here. Now in the USA, the Nigerian government has hired high dollar PR and lobby firm to lie and spin and deny and confuse. It is vital that Nigerians speak up now loudly. It is vital that Nigerians speak up now loudly. Mike Arnold, as far as I have known him, is a man of integrity. For him to say no to the bribery of Nigeria, for him not to allow himself to import over, I bet you it takes the grace of God for anybody to withstand Nigerian corruption. There is no, MAZI NNAMDI KANU said it, every single ambassador representative in Nigeria is on payroll. You can imagine, if they can place the ambassadors in Nigeria on payroll, then somebody they invited, imagine the amount they're going to promise him, what they're going to give. This is the situation. The Nigerian government has hired high dollar PR and lobbying firm to lie and spin and deny and confuse. It is vital that Nigerians speak up now loudly. Remember, I said put your emotions aside. When Arnold is using the word Nigeria, don't get it mixed up. This is a man that is fighting for humanity. It is left for you to put yourself in that position. If you're a Nigerian, you are a Biafran, you are a Yoruba, you are an Arewa person, you are a Middle Belton, put yourself in that position where he wrote Nigeria and speak up now, loudly, more than ever. Speak up now, loudly, more than ever. He went ahead to say, word to the wise. One of the insider setting up high-level meeting for me gave me this advice. Did you hear that? Arnold is telling us that one of the insider setting up high-level meetings for him gave me this advice. Remember, Arnold is one of the people that activated this CPC you are seeing today. He is one of the people who gave an evidence, live witness account of Nigerian atrocity that helped to push this CPC forward today. So it is good you put that in your memory as we are speaking. So he's telling you that one of the insiders setting up high-level meetings for me gave me this advice. Gave him the advice that we should speak up now. We should speak up now, louder. We should speak up now, speak louder, because Nigerian government has hired high-dollar PR and lobby firm to lie and spin and deny and confuse. I want you to understand what we are facing. Why I said you should forget about distraction and focus on what matters. He went ahead to say, I want to caution you. Listen to this. This is a very important information. I want to caution you that the United States Department doesn't deal well with IPOB actors. I want to caution you that the U.S. State Department doesn't deal well with IPOB actors. They view them as violent separatists. They are well aware of MAZI NNAMDI KANU case. I mention it as I don't want you to lose your credibility with U.S. policymakers in this pivotal moment. This is an advice coming from Arnold. And if you are a Biafran today, you should pay attention to this advice. It is very important. Nigeria has paid huge amount of money to people who are, I want you, before you come to this advice, don't get it mixed up. Remember what he said initially. Nigerian government has hired high-level PR and lobby firm to lie and spin and deny and confuse. And this is the result of that PR they are paying. This advice is as a result of that PR they are paying. This advice, that is why it came, because of those PR, high-level PR they paid to confuse, to deny, and to confuse. I want to caution you that the U.S. Department doesn't deal well with IPOB actors. They view them as violent separatists. This is the information that the PR of Nigerian government is pushing. The same thing, that is why they come to Biafra land, they create chaos. That is why you see false flag operation in Biafra land, sponsored by the DSS. That is why you see they employ some content creators who are even Biafrans. They stay online and they spill lie against themselves. When they spill these lies against themselves, they will take it and they will forward it to the United States authorities. Through their PR, high-paid PR. And when they send this information, what do? They use those information to spin, to deny, and to confuse the lawmakers. And as a result of this, they do not deal with IPOB actors well. They view them as violent separatists. They are well aware of MAZI NNAMDI KANU case. I mention it as I don't want you to lose your credibility with United States policymakers in this pivotal moment. This is an advice that a brother can give to a brother. At this pivotal moment, We don't have to lose this opportunity, a very pivotal moment. When you allow yourself to be used as a distraction, you begin to fight your brother, your sister, whether abroad or at home. They use you to create false informations. They use you for false flag operations in Biafra land. An Igbo man, you are sitting on your platform. All you do is to castigate the agitators. This is the result of what you are doing. Even though you claim you want to be free, but in what you are doing, you are pushing the freedom backward. You are standing before the freedom and making sure that it doesn't happen. That's what we are doing, in case you do not understand. And this is the result. So, the advice Arnold is giving us is also what we are saying today. Remain focused. Remain focused. Speak louder. Speak up now, louder. That's the advice is good. Speak up now, louder. Remain focused. Walk away from every division. Walk away from every distraction. Focus. Speak up now, louder. We must not lose credibility with US policymakers. We must not lose our credibility with the US policymakers in this moment. How do we lose our credibility? We lose our credibilities with them when we are divided, when we are fighting each other, when we are online gossiping, when we are online engaging in propaganda and blackmail, when we are online engaging in saga, when we are joining the government of Nigeria to create false flag operations in Nigeria, in Biafra land. When we do all these things, we lose credibility with the US policymakers. And Arnold is advising us, we should not lose credibility at this pivotal moment. We should try as much as possible to maintain peace among ourselves, to maintain unity among ourselves, and to speak louder than ever. Speak louder. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard on issues, on things that matters. Bring out more evidence that you have. Call out eyewitness account. Dig deep and bring out things and shift. This advice that Arnold gave is the same advice that MAZI Nnnamdi gave us when he came out on a Zoom call. On a Zoom phone call, this advice is the same advice MAZI Nnnamdi gave. He called for unity. He called for us to be focused. Provide as much evidence as you can at this moment in time. Whatever your brother or your sister do against you, don't talk about it. Ignore it and forget it. When we get our freedom, we can deal with our issues. This was the same advice. Same advice. This one is coming from Arnold, a neutral person, speaking to Nigerians. This word is deep. You can go and read it on your own. You can go and read it on your own. It is deep and very important. And Arnold went ahead to say, in other words, focus on the issue at hand, eradicating terror. He gave an idea. Focus on the issue at hand, eradicating terror. Otherwise, you are your own worst enemy. This word is solid and clear. If you are a Biafran agitator today, you are a Biafran, you are seeking for freedom. Focus on the issue at hand, eradicating terror. Otherwise, you are on your own. You are your own worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy. That is how he said it. Remember, I want. Take away sentiment. Take away your anger, whatever. Listen to the information and use it for yourself. Arnold is speaking as an outsider, not siding anybody. He is supporting humanity, speaking to human beings in that contraption called Nigeria. If you are human and you care about humanity, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your group, it doesn't matter your location, it doesn't matter what you do. Apply this in your own area. there's a lot of terror against the Biafran people. Bring out those informations, expose it, push it to the doorstep of the lawmakers in the US. Speak about it on your platform. Talk to anybody you can talk to. Talk to your own lawmakers in your own area, in any area you live. Your representative across the world, any country where you live. Meet your representative. Give them evidence handy. Make suggestions and speak on how these things have to be sorted out. Eradicating terror. Eradicating terror. Just like when we come to our program, we present Biafra as a remedy. That is also a solution on how to eradicate terror. Because once Biafra is recognized, this very agenda will die a natural death. This pursuit of interest will die a natural death. People will be focused on protecting their own border. Every region, the Arewa will protect their border. The Yoruba people will protect their border. The Middle Belt will protect their border. Everybody will be on their own, busy working, grow in their own space at their own speed. He went ahead to say, one step at a time, establish peace and justice while the world is behind you. Then chart your future. Did you see his last word? Did you hear his last word? The last word he wrote in this very wonderful, wonderful piece. He said, one step at a time, establish peace and justice while the world is behind you. Then chart your future. Establish peace and justice while the world is behind you. Then chart your future. I don't know what else you want to hear. I do not know what else you want to hear. Ordinarily, after reading this message and explaining it further and broadening it, we should end the broadcast. Because there is nothing more to say. It's left for you if you want to be free or you don't want to be free. It's your own business. But unfortunately, if you go to the comment section, you will see the kind of comments that people were writing there. You begin to marvel. Are these people human? Look at this one, what he wrote. Look at what this one wrote. And these are I'm not even sure. These are paid agents from Nigeria. Bunch of clowns, paid agents from Nigeria. Look at what this one wrote. He said, Dr. Mike Arnold, truth. Enough of this too much English. When is the US launching the attack on terrorists? Is it when the helpless poor women and children are all killed? We need the intervention and we need it like now. This is a normal, this is the brain of ordinary Nigerian, a normal Nigerian people. This is how they think. This is how they think. They will never plan anything. They want everything fast, quick, just wait and take. And at the end of the day, they will end up doing nothing. They will end up doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. They will end up doing absolutely nothing. Look at this one. Look at this one. This one, they are blackmailing. They are already blackmailing the man. Look at it. Look at the name. Omo Abiokuta Gidi. You see, that is why sometimes when you see people attacking Yorubas, you see that when you see people that attack the truth, in most cases here, when you see people that attack this man, most of them now are being Yoruba now. I don't know whether if they're Yoruba, maybe they can hide on other name. They might hide in other names and begin to write it. But look at it. And look at what that guy said. Look at what he wrote. Look at what he wrote that he said. Expose how foreign conman Mike Arnold exploit Nigerian insecurity to dupe foreign donors through fake charity front. You see. And Mike Arnold responded because he knows them. He said, over a month now, and this is still the best Omokri can do. Reno Omokri sponsored propaganda. You see what they are doing? Instead of responding to issues, they go to blackmail. This is what we face every day. The same thing they do to MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The same thing they do to Simon Ekpa. That is what they are very good at propaganda, blackmail, and pushing wrong information everywhere. Look at this one. They ask you a simple question, and you are here talking about IPOP. Please make this make sense to me. I will unfollow you. Just this one. Look at this one now, Mr. AC. The only anger that this one has now is because Arnold mentioned IPOB. You can imagine. This is somebody now who is concerned about the insecurity, but you are angry because IPOB was mentioned, and you call this one a human being. You call this one. We are talking about genocide that IPOB have endured for many years. IPOB have been shot at America. They were shot at Aba. They were shot at Headbridge. The videos are everywhere, which even a president was shown. It was shown to a president and he couldn't be able to look at it. Amnesty International have evidence of genocide against the IPOB members that happened over and over again. And Arnold advised the IPOB, and this idiot got angry. Look at what he wrote. They ask you a simple question, and you are here talking about IPOB. And when you hear idiots like this, you know where they're coming from. And he said, please make this make sense for me, or I will follow you. I will unfollow you, please. Unfollow him. Arnold is not here for that. Is when I see people say I will unfollow you, I don't care. It's just like some people who come online and say, oh, I will unfollow you. Now you're not talking about it, you're not talking about us. I will follow you. Unfollow me. If you're not comfortable with what I'm saying, unfollow me. I don't beg you to follow. I don't beg anybody to follow. I didn't come for the follow with that sense. Follow with your conscience, follow with your common sense. If you go to a platform you don't like what they're doing, you unfollow. It's not a problem. It's not a crime. They didn't tie your umbilical there. No. Look at him threatening Arnold that he will unfollow. That is how some of us do in this Biafra issue. They come to your platform. They say, oh, because you said this, because you didn't say it the way I want it, before I will follow you. And I look at them, I laugh. I look at them and I laugh. That is how they carry their idiocy everywhere. Look at. And Arnold responded to him. He said, I am telling you why the US decision makers might be reluctant. I am telling you why the US decision makers might be reluctant. All they ever hear is Biafra. If you have followed me, then you know my position on that. I am deeply sympathetic. I'm telling you the reality of US politics today. Right now, the issue is ending terrorism. And by continuing to talk about separatism, it is muddying the water, confusing decision makers, and making them less likely to intervene. I share that statement. It was advice I received. I'm passing it on verbatim. The reason I have encouraged Nigerians to speak up, but if they speak up about Biafra now, they will only be hurting their cause. There will be time for that. But right now, the focus must be on ending terror. I don't know how I can make it more simpler. Read into it. More simpler. Read into it and as you want. Read into it what you want. Follow who you want. I'm just sharing the truth. Exactly. Follow who you want. I'm just sharing the truth. So you see, when you go to comment section, you begin to read their comments, you begin to wonder what this man gave an advice. And he was talking to, even he used the word Nigerian. And he mentioned IPO because they are a peculiar people. We have a very strong and sensitive issue. Every one of us know the issue of Biafra, how it is handled across the world. We know about the global conspiracy. It has not stopped. Whenever Biafra is mentioned, they get headache. Everybody begins to run headfirst. And somebody gave an advice. Instead of you now to key into the advice, take the advice and walk away with it. You are busy attacking. You are busy talking trash. You are busy pushing your propaganda and blackmail and all that. It is a shame. It is a big, big shame. But we must continue. Nigeria is not a nation, has never been, and will never be. The lawlessness in Nigeria is increasing every day. Yesterday, we saw a viral video that was going everywhere. You saw one of the lawlessness of the Zoological Republic yesterday, where Wike, the Hitler in FCT, in Federal Capital Territory, the Hitler was waging war with the military yesterday. The Hitler was at war with Nigerian military yesterday. I know many of us have saw it. Let us use it and while our time again. This is Nigeria for you. War between Wike group and the Nigerian military. They are terrorist military. Watch them.
You have no document. Bring the document.
I have documents and everything has been submitted.
Excuse me, I'm the minister. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to add in this impurity. Where the approval even to people. You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. How can that man at his level, even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me and say, look, I'm sorry, see what I have. You will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying guns to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not government, you was first staff who spoke to me here. You could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate.
On the contrary,
I'm doing my job.
We are not intimidating anybody.
That's what you're doing.
The civilian, the engineer mobilized to site, and then staff or workers of SCDA look at Instagram.
No, listen now.
That is threatening them. And that was when the admiral gave the order.
He cannot give order against government.
Because the papers are complete and he said it's submitted.
Are you the one? Listen, you don't the police one. Are you the one that will say paper? What will show me that you are? First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two, show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It has nothing to do with I'm a vice admiral, I'm a lieutenant general. That is not it. We must work according to law.
Did you hear Wike? Wike say you must work according to law. The most lawless person you have in Nigeria is on camera telling you that you must work with law. You see, when we say Nigeria is irredeemable, this is it. The greatest lawless person in Nigeria is on camera telling you must work according to law. Have Wike ever worked with law? Wike destroyed his party and joined the opposition. Wike took the life of innocent people in Obibo. Wike fought against a sitting governor, removed him illegally. Wike threatened INEC member that he's going to take his life if he doesn't rig election for him. That same man is before the camera speaking about law, challenging a feral man in terrorist country, challenging the terrorist Janjaweed, and he's quoting law. You can imagine. You can imagine the audacity. When you hear him talk, the most lawless man in Nigeria is here talking about law. What a shame. I hope the world is watching. When Donald Trump say Nigeria is a disgraced country, this is it.
We must work according to law. So you? No, can you not tell like this? Don't tell like this. Don't you tell it? I tell you like I'm right. Don't tell like this.
Imagine the lawlessness. Imagine the lawlessness in Nigeria. A disgrace country.
I am a small boy, but the commission of finance can never
A disgrace country. And when you see Wike making noise, you think he would take this land from these people and give his own friend. Wait, let's listen. He would take the land from these people and give to his own group.
Just to come and prevent
How do I get it? This is not professional. It's not professional. Please, you can't be pressing the minister for this thing.
Disgrace country. You see the disgrace country. When Trump called them a disgrace country, they said no. You can imagine. We are wicked and he stops. He's challenging the Nigerian military.
Now, told us that it's okay. From demolition is not part.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's
matter.
all that matters. I'm an offside, take to order.
So what? You had a who than me.
So I'm an offside, take to order.
So that you take it.
Mr. General.
Okay.
I can't say no. That means
You can never develop this property. I will not allow it.
No problem, sir.
You
I'm only acting on my
if
orders.
you want to kill everybody, kill everybody.
We will not kill
You
anybody,
cannot.
sir. We will not. We will not kill anybody, sir.
You put yourself in trouble.
We will not.
My friend,
you see,
What is that? You cannot shut me up. You cannot shut me up. You are my senior. You cannot even talk when I'm talking. Because I'm only that way. I'll be talking and policemen will be talking.
Hey, you are taking with us. We don't have any big.
I'm not to carry security to intimidate because you're an officer. Nobody does that.
We did not carry anybody.
The man took this Arab, we will not allow because he was chief of numbers, and then for you to carry land.
Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you stop
and so
that?
you get the
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, put
Sir, I
yourself.
will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir, I'm a
I
professional
was in
officer.
school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you keep
up.
quiet?
You
Get
can't
me a
shut me
big
up, sir.
fool.
I'm not a
You are a big fool.
I'm not a
You
fool,
think you
sir.
can shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are a big
fool.
fool. Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I
Don't call me a
graduated,
fool.
you were in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which
You can't
order?
call me a fool.
And this, you will see whether you will not live here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go
I'm
and
not
develop your
I'm
mind,
an officer.
develop
I'm not a fool, sir.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
an
with you.
officer.
I'm so corrupt. You would have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
You can imagine. The most lawless country in the
Go and
world.
develop. Go and develop here. Let me see you.
Regular officer, you won't come and
We are going to get out.
I'm not even seeing what's recording. Hello, sir.
Director press.
That is Nigeria for you. When Trump called them a disgraced country,
That man at his level, even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me and say, look, I'm sorry, see what I have. You will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying gun to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not government chief was the first staff who spoke to me now, you could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate.
But on the contrary,
I'm doing my job.
We just witnessed a very heated argument between you and the Nigerian army. Can you take us back to when this started and what this is all about?
Well, it's unfortunate. And these are the kind of things that the task development. We are aware that the land department and the development highway control and they mandated to see where the illegal development going on and land grabbing. And when this was brought to my attention, I did instruct them to make sure that nothing takes place in as much as they don't have any legal papers in terms of regional approval or even acquisition of the land. And when they came here, I was informed that the soldiers of the military had to chase them away. And I thought probably they will be acting illegally. And so today, when I was in the office, while they came to implement the directive that was given to them by myself, I was called that the military had taken over the place. And I had to come by myself to see things for myself. Is it unfortunate? And you heard what the officer said was sent by the former chief of naval staff. And I don't understand how somebody who attained that position, I see that he has a problem, cannot approach my office to say, look, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. Or simply because he's a military man, he could use that to intimidate Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons that will succumb to blackmail or intimidation. And you can imagine where you cannot even prove where the documents. And the director of the control is there. I said, look, I was here. I said, bring the documents. You don't have the documents. Bring the approval for building. You don't have it. And how can we continue to allow lawlessness to prevail in this country? What about those who don't have the military? What about those who don't have security? It has gotten to a level where when government officials are carrying out their job, you go and bring security.
Carry out your job in criminal.
Against government officials. I will not accept that.
The most lawless man in Nigeria speaking.
And I've spoken to the chief of naval staff, and they have assured me that, please, they have to resolve the matter. And we're not coming here to have a shooter with anybody to cause chaos or not. But what I can say, I would not allow it to happen. The way we have done, carried our jobs in other areas, in the same way it will be done here. He will not carry out this illegal development and land grab simply because he was a former chief of naval staff. I would not allow that. And that is really where we are.
Thank you very much.
You see, when you hear this criminal talk, you think he's for good. This is a man who is grabbing every land for himself. When he's talking about land grabber, you